Slice open a fresh orange, extract the seeds from within, place them into a flower pot. Soon enough, a miracle unfolds. A seedling emerges from the soil, growing swiftly to maturity. Before long, it thrives with lush foliage, then bears fruit. The magician plucks 2 oranges, tosses them to the audience one by one, inviting them to inspect closely. It's genuine. He then approaches a lady. She opens a box. The handkerchief has disappeared. Turning back to the magician, 2 butterflies are dancing, dangling the handkerchief in their grasp. How on earth did he manage that? Witnessing such a spectacular performance, the audience bursts into enthusiastic applause. This is 1909, a time when science was less advanced. The magician's act seemed almost like real magic to them. With his masterful talent, he enchanted countless spectators, amassing a fortune. Even the royal family knew of his renown. The prince brought his future princess, making a special journey to attend his show. This time, the magician performs an astral projection, requiring a volunteer from the audience. The prince immediately stands. Everyone expects him to step onto the stage, but surprisingly, he points to his fiancée beside him. An assistant brings a mirror. The princess walks toward the stage. As she draws nearer, the magician's expression turns increasingly astonished. It turns out he knows this woman. The woman pushes a log into the water and swims swiftly toward the lake's center. Once there, she dives sharply toward the bottom, where a sunken airplane lies. From the wreckage, she retrieves some snacks and a walkie-talkie, then quickly surfaces. As she prepares to swim ashore with the supplies, a bear suddenly appears in the camp, gazing at the massive creature. Anna in the lake feels powerless. Just then, the brown bear seems to spot something and strides straight toward Sam, who's lying off to the side. Anna pounds the water desperately, trying to distract the bear, but it ignores her, inching closer to Sam. Luckily, the bear isn't hungry enough to attack, and it passes behind him without harm. Anna finally relaxes in the water. Back on shore, she immediately checks the pack's contents only to find it filled with masses of waste paper. No useful items in sight. After this, she drags Sam's body to a patch of soft soil and buries him. But there's no time for grief. She must plan for survival. Attempts to catch fish with her hands fail, so Anna uses an earring as a hook, tying it to a stick with cotton thread to make a simple fishing rod. Soon, a fish bites, but the fragile cotton can't withstand its weight. Left with no choice, Anna enters the jungle, where dangerous animals lurk, yet survival leaves her no alternative. Due to the mother's long-term medication during pregnancy, the daughter was born with snow-white skin all over her body. This abnormal white complexion quickly made her a freak in the eyes of the entire village. Even her father, unable to accept such a daughter, whipped her daily with a leather strap. Under this prolonged abuse, Xiaomei's sanity gradually faded until one day she fled the village. She collapsed in a forest and was found by a handsome wealthy heir, who took her to his home. It turned out the man's parents had passed away, leaving him a hotel. After learning Xiaomei had run away, he settled her in a room and gave her a special gift, the first present she'd ever received: exquisite jewelry. In the days that followed, Xiaomei felt loved for the first time, and her fair skin deeply attracted the man. In the dim hotel, they quickly fell in love. When the man went on a business trip to the city, Xiaomei remained immersed in their romance. But a whole year passed, and he vanished without a trace. Xiaomei hid her skin and went to the city to find him. The sight of him married shattered her. She believed his abandonment stemmed from her skin. In the hotel, she snapped, convinced her appearance was the cause. She took a knife to her skin, desperate to tear it off. Over 3 days, she peeled away all her skin amid excruciating pain, eventually dying from excessive blood loss. Years later, when the hotel reopened, a cleaner on her first day heard continuous crying from the 3rd floor.
It was the first time he bought a Ferrari. As soon as he started driving it, he immediately noticed a fatal flaw. Its appearance was not good looking enough. The horsepower was too low, lacking the power a sports car should have. What's more, this so-called top-tier supercar had a clutch as terrible as a pile of garbage, so he drove the supercar back to his tractor workshop. But after an inspection, he was shocked to find that the Ferrari's clutch was exactly the same as the one in his tractor. At that moment, as a former mechanic, he had a bold idea to create an unprecedented high-performance clutch. With this decision made, he went directly to the founder of Ferrari and gently pointed out the existing problems while proposing a cooperation. However, when the man learned that he was just a tractor manufacturer, his face was filled with disdain. "Go back to your tractors." That mocking tone immediately annoyed Bill, so he no longer held back, shouting that the man was stealing money from buyers. The man drove off in his Ferrari, never imagining that his behavior that day would soon bring unprecedented disaster to Ferrari, and even rewrite the history of the entire supercar industry. He stared at the photo of the bull ring. What attracted him was not the Matador but the bull. Shortly after he assembled the Lamborghini design team to endow the car with powerful performance, he demanded that the V12 engine be lightweight. This design laid the foundation for Lamborghini's success. To participate in the 1964 Geneva Motor Show, he compressed the original 18-month design cycle to 6 months because he wanted to launch the first Lamborghini to seize the market before the debut of the new Ferrari. His partners thought it impossible to do so in such a short time. He had extremely meticulous standards for design and never compromised due to time constraints. Dissatisfactory designs were completely scrapped, even if it almost drove the designers away. He stuck to his guns, The man began working day and night to build the world's first Lamborghini. He firmly believed that his supercar could definitely rival that old man's. Facts proved that his choice was correct.
When meeting a net friend for the first time, the girl told the other party she was carrying a yellow small bag for easy identification. But when she asked about the other person's features, they remained silent, saying, "As long as I can find you." This response annoyed the girl. She put down her phone and didn't want to this strange person anymore. Soon, however, a new message popped up. "I've already found you." This made the girl even more confused. Just then, a commotion broke out outside. It was said that a beautiful woman had been killed. Curious, the girl pushed through the crowd and saw a young woman lying on the ground covered in blood. She was also carrying a yellow small bag. The girl froze, recalling the earlier message, "I've found you," and felt a shiver down her spine. She quickly covered her yellow bag with her clothes, carefully backed out of the crowd, and rushed home as fast as she could. In the elevator, she met a tall woman. Having someone else there eased her anxiety a bit. Suddenly, the dating app pinged again. The girl checked her phone and saw a notification. "Match successful. Your friend is beside you." As she wondered, the tall woman in the elevator also received a ping from the same app, another match successful notification. The girl curiously opened the app and realized it was the same net friend she had been chatting with.
The girl is about to take a shower. Little does she know, a kitten is watching from under the bed. As she heads to the bathroom, the kitten stretches out its paw and quietly steals her clothes. In an instant, the kitten transforms into a man. He stares at himself in the mirror. He has become human. He tries to open the door to go out, but just then Bill steps out after her shower. She feels something is amiss, turns around, yet the man has already turned back into a cat. Bill notices nothing. The kitten loves being with her. Every night after Bill falls asleep, he sneaks into bed to be by her side. Sometimes he slips out at midnight, curious about everything around him. The honking of cars on the street startles him, sending him scurrying back to the room in a panic. Bill's dad feels there's someone outside, so he steps out. He catches sight of a shadow in the darkness. The next morning, he asks Bill where the cat came from. She quickly explains that it's a friend's cat, staying at their house for a few days. Though somewhat displeased, her dad reluctantly agrees. After Bill leaves for work, the cat turns back into a man. He wanders around the house and finally finds a can of cat food. Just then, he hears a strange sound coming from her dad's room. Curious, he opens the door and sees her dad collapsed on the floor. The man is completely panicky. He picks up her dad and runs outside, not knowing what to do. The security guard recognizes the girl's father and quickly calls an ambulance. Thanks to him, her dad receives timely help, but when the guard turns around, the man has already vanished. He has turned back into a kitten. Bill rushes to the hospital as soon as she gets the call. Seeing her dad is okay, she finally breathes a sigh of relief. Yet no one knows who saved his life. At night, the man turns into a cat again, but miraculously, he transforms into a human whenever he gets close to the woman. So he crawls beside her, wondering how she will react when she wakes up and sees the man next to her. On the bus heading home, the man had just returned from military service. After years of war, his hometown was unrecognizable. No relatives came to welcome him back. Even his house was occupied by others. Confused and heartbroken, he went to the town, found an old friend of his father's, learned from him. His parents had passed away a year ago, and as for the house, it had been inherited by his brother. But his brother was arrested for breaking the law. Precisely because of that, the property was seized and auctioned off. The man went to the prison to visit his brother. The moment his brother saw him, he started complaining. He felt a deep sense of remorse. Deep down in his heart, he knew he himself was also at fault. He wasn't there when their mother was ill. Overwhelmed by guilt, he went to the police, begged them to release his brother. "Your brother broke the law, and justice must be served." The man left in silence, feeling even more lost than before. Now without family or home, he wandered aimlessly. He fished in the river to fill his stomach, set up a tent when he was tired. After traveling hundreds of kilometers, he began to find comfort in this kind of freedom. It seemed to ease the torment left by the war. But one day, while he was fishing, an old man appeared beside him. The stranger glanced at his guarded posture and knew he was a soldier. They started talking quietly while fishing, but there was something odd about the old man. He claimed that not long ago, he had seen someone traveling with his parents. He froze when the old man described them.
Man was lame. Woman was awfully pretty. Petite little lady.
Sounds like you describing my folks.
But it didn't make sense. They were already dead. The old man smiled and said nothing. But as the old man was about to leave, he told him of a place he had never heard of. But the old man said that all the truth lay there.